Hello, hello, hello. Hello, how's everybody doing? How's everybody doing? I am still learning my software. Um, just let everybody come in. Welcome to everybody. Hi, hi. And if you've got comments, please say hello. It's my first live in about a month. A lot has changed. For goodness sakes, what a time to be alive in the market right now. Hello, hello. Hey, how you doing? It's a great evening. I am having a little bit of a sip of something to drink. And yeah, just kind of start for the next hour talking about real estate, Virginia Beach, anything. You can ask me anything. So it has been a crazy last few weeks. I think this is probably one of the craziest months I think I've seen in this market. I've been doing this 15 years, and this is a unique time. And I think that there is a way to succeed in this market. There's also a way to kind of spin your wheels and feel like you can't get anywhere. And if you are one of those people spinning your wheels, I can relate. I mean, it's a hard market, but there are a lot of people doing great things and getting good houses in this market. I've been telling people, I've been giving very specific advice to people in this kind of environment because it's very specific as to who I think should buy or, where it's best to buy. And so, even this evening, I can talk to you more about, advice about great spots, what might be best things to do in the market right now. So we can go through all of that and any experiences you've had. If you're buying a house right now, we can talk about that. Like what kind of experiences you've had. What's up? Yes, time to buy and hold. Ooh, can't argue with that. Interest rates are still incredibly low. I mean, I'm talking to people, this is historic stuff, honestly. Like we are as low as I've ever seen. My first house was in 2006 and I was paying about 7%. And it was fine back then, so that's several $100 more a month than what we'd be paying now for an interest rate where we're at, much lower. So one thing I do mention to a lot of people is, I compare what the prices are now. A lot of people ask me, is this a bubble? Because it feels like it, it feels like the prices are rising so fast. But at the same time, I always revert back to the history and say, okay, what is history telling us about prices? That's one thing we can use as a reference point. And hey, how are you? Hey. Oh, good. That's awesome. Hey, Brian, good to see you. So what was I saying? Oh, talking about prices. I looked back in 2006. 2006 was right before the '08 crash. Remember that time? If you were involved in the market, you remember that. Well, here in this area, Virginia Beach, Chesapeake, Newport News, Hampton, like all through the peninsula, Suffolk, anywhere, the prices then are about the same, give or take, a couple percent, but sometimes a little bit higher, but in the same range as what the prices are now, comparatively speaking. It's almost the same as it was in 2007, 2006, 2005, back when the market was at its highest peak. The difference is that the interest rates now are, again, so much lower than they were then. So I'm not saying you need to buy a house right now. I don't suggest anybody to buy a house just to buy a house. But I'm saying that in regards to comparing what we're at now to where we were 12, 14, 15 years ago, the prices are very similar. So they haven't even risen that much more even than what it was back then at the peak then, 15 years ago, before inflation kicked in. But the interest rates are so much higher that you've got several $100 more in payments a month back then for the same house, the same price. So the payments right now for the same house is a lot lower, and the type of people, like the people that are qualified to buy houses right now, are much different than they were then. So there are much more stringent measures being taken. Lenders are much more specific as to who they're giving loans to. So it's a lot different. And I'm not saying that there wouldn't be a correction. And I've said this in the past videos. I think that once we get over 4-something%, 4.5 interest rates, I could see the leveling off of prices at least faster. And I think that that's when you'll start seeing a little bit of a shift in price. So, will that happen soon? I don't know. I mean, that's still a ways to go. I think I'd be surprised if it was quicker, but I really think that if you buy now, and like Mo said, buy and hold, I think that's the move for several years or however long you can, but take advantage of the interest rates that you can get now as long as you can, because the house prices might not drop or go up or drop that much. Even with interest rate increase, they might stable off. But so that means if you're buying the same house in a couple of years and it's maybe a similar price, but you're paying now another couple percent in interest, you're paying a lot more over the course of the loan. So the buy and hold now, to me, is a great idea if you're planning to stay in the area for a while. Mo says, love your content. Thank you. Thanks, Mo, very much. Interest rates are lovely and minimum wages are going up. My kid's private school cost is going up in May too. Oh, are you in here? Are you in this area? That's a good question. Let me revert back to, I'm learning my software, first of all. I got some nope. Question, nope. What was I going to ask? I have an overlay. They call it an overlay in the fancy tech business. Oh, there you go. Where are you watching from? Where are you watching from? I wanted to find out where you're watching from because I know I talked to a lot of people in Europe, Asia. I mean, I've talked to people all over the world, and I'm really curious to see, where are you talking from? Because there are a lot of people I talk to in the West Coast, some a lot in the Midwest, South in Texas, Florida, the Northeast, a lot of people from New York. I mean, it's all over. So I'm really curious to see, if you're from a different area, hey, are you coming here? Are you interested in a place like this? I'm just curious to know, like, from a different person or different area's perspective, hey, what is the interest? What's the intrigue of, Virginia Beach compared to other places? Like, what do you think? I'm curious because I love Hawaii. Yeah. That's right. Yeah, you're in the area. Great. Okay, cool, Mo. I've talked to people in several different countries, and I do think moving from a different state or country is a challenge. But again, part of the idea here is to say, hey, like you want to be able to, for instance, if you're moving here for sure, if you're definitely moving here, Norfolk or wherever, you want to be able to know for sure with confidence what you're moving into. And so that's part of why I'm doing this channel. So I'd love to hear family's in, La Jolla, moving to Allenton. Hey, awesome. I love Allenton. I did a video about Allenton. I hope you watched it. I love Allenton. Did you already pick your house? Do you know, are you moving like in that area, like soon, or what's going on? Like that's awesome. Great area. I'm curious actually, if you're moving there, what are your thoughts on the jet noise? Because that's one thing I wanted to bring up tonight was jet noise, and talking about the differences in experience from different parts of the area. Because I get that question a lot from people that are moving here. Like, how bad is this jet noise? I keep hearing about the jet noise. Give me the straight and narrow. And grew up in Bay Island, coming back. That's awesome. No, that's great. Bay Island. I love Bay Island also. It's a good spot. My next week's video will have Bay Island in it. Excuse me. Yeah, next one actually will be a lot about beaches and areas near beaches. So the jet noise is a big deal. I'm curious. Used to jet noise. Yeah, I guess you're from here too. Watching from Pittsburgh. Cool. Pittsburgh. I have so interestingly enough, a lot of people I know or people I've met here are from Pittsburgh. I don't have a good explanation for that, but not too bad in Allenton. Yeah. So Allenton, I love Donald says I love jet noise. So yeah, a lot of people here do. The Allenton area is very unique because people that are not from here and have not gotten used to jet noise or not heard jet noise before, they'll hear it in a place like Allenton and think that, oh my gosh, that's really loud. How can you stand that? And some people don't care at all. But if you go, down into Hilltop or further east towards like Bird Neck, then it gets really loud. And, some people just can't take it. But honestly, like a lot of people that live here, they're used to it. So I'm trying to move to Virginia Beach area. That's great. Again, a lot of people from Pittsburgh here. So you might be pleasantly surprised about how many, unless you don't want to be around people from Pittsburgh, then I don't know what to say. But anyway, but back to the jet noise thing. So I've mentioned this in a few videos. The landing strip for the Oceana Naval Air Station is northeast to southwest kind of, and the flight patterns dictate like the areas where there's the most noise is kind of in that same kind of oval, like headed from northeast to southwest. But there are very specific neighborhoods as you get away, like southeastern corner of Virginia Beach and northwestern side. Just it feels like it's close to the base, but it's just far enough away to where you really don't hear it as much. It's just like angled away enough, and so I don't. It's such a very specific thing that I try my best, especially if I'm working with people out of state. I try, hey, take a video and show you, hey, this is what the jets sound like right now. What do you think? There are times where you'll be in your house and you can't hear if you're right down near the air station. It's not that bad in most places, but when it's close to the runway, it can be loud. So that is an addition thing I mentioned down into Chesapeake. Fentress Airfield is one people don't talk about very much. So they think if I'm away from Oceana, I'm away from the jets. Well, Fentress is a smaller strip, but it's got a lot of jets that fly around there too. It gets noisy, and there are some spots that I grew up in areas near there that used to not be as noisy, but I've noticed a little bit more noise even from people that I know that are down there. So just kind of again watch it's the ACU's noise zone map. There's a rating system with each house that you're looking at. Each one has a rating. So just watch that as you're making a search for a house. And that being said, one more spot is right near the airport in Norfolk. But Norfolk, there aren't many places that have much noise. If you're right close to the airport, you hear it some, but even then, the F-18s are the ones that are noisy. Airport in Norfolk, never really had much of an issue. Let's see. Questions. Ooh, lots of questions. Trying to work on, okay. Try and work on London Bridge right next to the base. That's loud, yeah. So I have a client that actually was considering buying a commercial property down near there. And you are right, sir. Back to the element that some people don't care, some people do. But yeah, that's a spot that you could be inside and you are hearing some action. Not my thing. What do you, Pickle Rick? Hey, Pickle Rick. What do you think about Norfolk? What's the best area? So it's very contextual. There are a lot of great areas in Norfolk. I love like the types of houses in Norfolk. I think I would probably pick those over anywhere. I love Norfolk's houses. There are some, especially in the western side. I love Ghent. I love Larchmont. I love Edgewater. I love West Ghent. That whole side of what Norfolk, the western side, like from downtown up and west that way, is like it's got a lot of culture, older houses. The Hague, which is an area down near the down the south area near downtown, it's the houses are unique, and it's hard to replicate the feeling you get when you're in there. I love all of that. Now, again, part of this comes down to price and what you're comfortable with, and like the areas in Ghent, that single family houses are 500 plus to start usually. West Ghent, you can get some a little bit under that, but it's a little bit difficult. So the further north you go, you can get those great townhouses in Ghent, some great townhouses, condos in Ghent. Then you can also rent later. Then as the further north you go, again, I mentioned Larchmont. It's a great neighborhood up into the northwest corner. There's some other neighborhoods that I like that are just east of there. But like, let me see, River Point, Algonquin. These are like, again, it depends on the price range. So some of these are 600,000-700,000. If you go back in like the 400, 300, Glen Gariff is about 475. I like that area right next to the airport. I'm going off the top of my head here. Meadow Brook Terrace is another great one that's right in the middle of kind of a commercial area, but for the price, real big, like nice houses, like 2,800, 3,000 square feet for about 450, 460. Yeah, I like Larchmont. And so all I have to say, like, and also Ocean View. So Ocean View is an underrated area. It had a bad perception a long time ago. There's a lot of new condo developments, new places on the ocean. East Beach is a really nice spot in that north, like the beach area there. For the price, it's hard to beat it. I mean, I like it up there. There are some flooding spots up there near Pretty Lake, like in the middle of Ocean View. But I like the element, the potential for appreciation up there. But really, West Norfolk, I love all of that. Now, again, the thing I really am cautious about is flooding. It's not, the houses won't flood, but you're going to have some street issues. Got to be watchful where you park in some spots. Kind of you're navigating around the areas. It's just not convenient in some cases. Like the parking itself can be hard if you don't have a driveway. But if you like that city style, you like walking around town, that kind of thing's cool. But again, West Side, it can flood. The water level near Larchmont, especially on the western side, you'll see if you go into the corner of Larchmont, you drive around, there's a semicircle there, like right at the edge near the water. You can see how close the water is to the shore and to where the houses are. And tidal flooding is pretty common. Bunch of rain comes down, this adds to it, but you can see the tide coming in and out. It doesn't take very much. So I'm seeing the flooding issues around the corners of Larchmont becoming a bigger problem. And so I'm a little bit more leery about the shoreline over there. But I love Ghent. Hope that helps. Moving from Colorado, where could we go to any public school? Choicing in, so wondering if it's the same in Virginia. Can we choose into a better rated public elementary, but buy a home elsewhere? So great question. And I don't have a good, clear answer for you about that. Each city is different. I think Virginia Beach, you can't. Virginia Beach and Chesapeake are different. And I feel like I should know this off the top of my head, but I'm drawing a blank. I will find that out for you. And I will actually mention that, put it into a comment later after the live stream. But that's a great question. And that's something that people have to consider, like, okay, do I want public? Do I want private? The cost of private often is around $8,000, $10,000, $12,000 per student in a lot of the private schools. But I don't think you can in Virginia Beach. I don't think you can. But people will pay up for the public schools. And if they were okay with the public school system, they will save a lot per child, comparatively speaking to private. So that's a great question, and I will answer that for you and put it in the comments section afterwards. Oh yeah, moving from Colorado. Yeah, great. And where in Colorado are you, Trisha? Cool, awesome. My parents owned the company on Crusader for years. Oh, great. Oh yeah, I know exactly what that is. So that desensitized me to jet noise. That makes sense. Air shows. Yep. The air shows every year. Those are big deals for the locals too. Blue Angels fly. That makes a lot of sense. That's a rabbit trail. Like Larchmont, Pickle Rick. Me too. Tough about the flooding. Josiah, I love Ocean View. Yes, great location. Oh, I agree with you. Yes, and good value appreciation wise, and some good duplexes. I think some people know about that. Multifamily over there, and that's something that people look for in the area. You have to be real specific about areas if you want multifamily. To quickly touch on that, Ocean View is at one spot that has a decent amount of multifamily. There are some spots in the central part of Norfolk as well, but once you get out of Norfolk into Chesapeake, into South Norfolk, which I'm going to do a video about South Norfolk, I will do that. And South Norfolk it's considered central Chesapeake, but it's called South Norfolk. Old name, didn't change it. Anyway, it's in Chesapeake, but it's another older town a part of town that has multifamily, a lot of multifamily units. So if you're looking for that kind of thing, you can check those spots like Central Norfolk, Ocean View, and the Central Chesapeake or South Norfolk. Pittsburgh. Wow, another Pittsburgh. What did I say? Pittsburgh guys, man. Oh my gosh, I love you guys. But I'm curious. I mean, I've heard it's like one of the best cities. I mean, one of the nicest cities. That's not like a top 5, 10 population city. Like I've always wanted to go. I've never been, but I'm a big sports fan. Three River Stadium was a place I've always wanted to go to before they switched to PNC. Anyway, sorry. It's funny to see two people from Pittsburgh tonight. Military housing in Norfolk. Cool. Okay. Our vehicles flooded within the first few months of living here. If I may, which part of Norfolk is your housing? That's awesome to say. I'm glad you mentioned that. I'm sorry to hear that, first of all, just because it's tough to know when or how or what areas are the biggest problems, but there are some spots that are pretty commonly an issue. And I'm guessing, was it in February? Like that long 10, 14 day period when it was crazy. Like it was bad for about 2 weeks. And anyway, so let me know what your experience was there with the flooding. Yep. Thanks, Brian. Got a roll. Good to see you. Audria, greatly appreciate your channel. Thank you. You're welcome. I relocated from Nova, cool, to South Virginia Beach, Courthouse Estates. Awesome. Your channel helped me so much. Well, you got in right before the craziness in Courthouse Estates. Let me tell you what. There are some people that went way over asking price in Courthouse Estates. I'm not saying maybe you did too, but Courthouse Estates is a fascinating neighborhood, and it's really appreciated. And you got in right before it got even crazier. And then there's some houses there in Courthouse Estates right now that have gotten dozens of offers. I mean, way over asking price. This crazy stuff in Courthouse Estates. Great neighborhood. Lots of sub neighborhoods kind of around a central area, but it's a great. Anybody has questions about Courthouse Estates, I need to do a video specifically about Courthouse Estates because it's such a unique spot and area. So cool. Did I miss people? Oops. I'm sorry. Let's go back. Yeah, you're welcome, Adria. Donald says, Donald, I think you can petition to go out and out of district school, but very rarely it is accepted. Yes, I think I think Donald's right. I think that is right. And I think it's very specific on reason. And I think they're very specific. I would not bank on it. Don't bank on it. I think it's very particular, but I think Donald's right. Colorado Springs. Cool. I've heard great things about Colorado Springs. You're welcome. Thanks. Learning how to use this program. Watching from Jacksonville. Got a job in Norfolk. Awesome. Relocate by June. Awesome. Congratulations. I have friends that live in Jacksonville also, and they are there in the military. Are you in the military? But welcome to the area. If you've got any questions about here, please reach out. You can ask questions here too. But I love this area, so hopefully that will bleed out and it comes across on camera. Moving to Chesapeake soon, and I follow you. Great, awesome. Welcome to Chesapeake almost. Welcome to Chesapeake almost, and great spots in Chesapeake. So I guess you probably have, after researching, found that there's a lot of different places in Chesapeake, a lot of different types of areas in Chesapeake, and Western Branch. I just did a video about Western Branch. You got South Chesapeake, which is it's a whole different section similar to Virginia Beach. And I did a video that compares Virginia Beach living to South Chesapeake, because a lot of people do compare those two, mainly because of school district. Also, they're trying to compare. They want to live in, for instance, Hickory and Grassfield, Great Bridge, mainly Hickory and Grassfield. Those are two that they often compare. People compare to areas in Virginia Beach, like, again, the ones we've seen, like Salem, drawing a blank, Kellam, Cox, First Colonial, Princess Anne, all the, Ocean Links, all the typical ones that are highly ranked. But people compare those two a lot. So South Chesapeake has a lot of similarities to Virginia Beach in that capacity, but I'm sure you've probably done a lot of research there to see what those differences are. But let's see. I really don't believe folks understand how much minimum wage will be affecting everything around the 757 area. What are your thoughts on the real estate market? So to be real frank with you, I don't know how it's going to affect purchasing ability either, because I do think that, if minimum wage does go up as much as it does, in a sense, they could, in theory, qualify in theory for more property. Like say for instance, if the person can make 15 an hour as an example, that probably allows them to buy, I'd say, well, it's going to allow them to buy double the house they could before in some cases. But again, like a lot of people that couldn't buy now could buy. That could really influence the prices. I don't know how that will. I don't know how that will affect the prices reflective of the minimum wage myself. I would say though that there are a lot of people here that are on minimum wage. There are a lot of people that aren't, and each different bracket the market is influenced differently based on market conditions. And I do think interest rates still are a huge piece of that. And so I don't know what's, obviously there's all big questions about forbearance and, will there be foreclosures happening further in the next few months? It could happen. And I talk to people about comparing now to get into 2006, 2007, 2005, when the market dropped. The foreclosure market in 08, 09, 2010 was not just backlog, but there was so many foreclosures on the market, and it was a flood of them. Dropped prices. Here, while that did happen, a lot of neighborhoods still held a lot of their value. There are places that did not at all. And that's where I'm more focused on, hey, buying where you feel, or, where advice can tell you is the best place to buy that holds its value regardless. Again, if you're going to be buying to sell sooner rather than later, again, neighborhood to me is a bigger factor than, or, just location in general, than if you're buying to hold. And then it's more about, to me, it's about that and just the amount you're paying over the long term, and is that worth it? Because I could see house prices drop, but I also could see if that happens, interest rates possibly could also be going up, and it might end up being a wash. So it's like, you know what I mean? So I'm not so convinced that the payments and the interest people are paying will be going down. I think they might probably be going up eventually, not down, but I could see prices stabilized and then sag some. And I don't know how that will be. I'm not sure yet about the minimum wage element. Oh man, I'm missing a bunch of comments. I'm sorry, guys. It's fine. It was in our first year. Been here 5 years. Okay. We learned to move the vehicles when it rains. Oh, this is okay. So housing write-off terminal. Yep, I know exactly what you're talking about. So great. Thank you for this. So when you move into Norfolk, just being aware of that when you move in, the flooding aspect when you move in is really, really important. But remember, it's not everywhere. But there are spots where, again, either if you're parking in a spot where it could be a problem, or if you're trying to travel across town, some roads could be blocked. So that's great. Thanks for that. Oh, here we go. Okay. So 9/58, 2021, 11 to 22. Okay. Yeah. Where did you see that? And to be honest with you, I'm not. Yeah. That's that alone tells me if we're talking that much in only a couple of years' time, that will also that's going to happen at the same time as possibly if there are any foreclosures. They've kind of happened at the same time. So I don't know economically how that will influence each other, how those two will connect. So that I think the effects of that amount won't be seen as much in the short term, considering what might happen with foreclosures if there is any issue with foreclosures. Which again, I'm not convinced of that, to be honest with you. I mean, I remember 08 and that was totally different. I'm not convinced that there will be that many foreclosures as much as people might think here in this area here. Does a $350,000 to $450,000 house in Great Neck tend to hold its value? Oh yeah, seems like prices have gone up more than other nearby areas. So yeah, if we're talking single family house, there aren't many houses in Great Neck that are under 450 anyway. You are buying one of the lower end areas. I mean, lower end prices in that area. So in Great Neck, Little Neck. Hey, Sandra, by the way. Hey, we talked before. Hey, I would say that as far as holding value, if you're buying in a place like Great Neck, Little Neck, central, a lot of areas of central-ish Virginia Beach, southeastern, even a lot of Virginia Beach. In terms of relative holding value, I mean, I like a lot of parts of Virginia Beach. If you're in a place like Great Neck and you can get a house for $350 in Great Neck, that's awesome. And $450 even. There are places in Great Neck you could be paying over $1 million. So that's kind of like the more macro concept to buy that small house in the big neighborhood. You're kind of doing that if you're getting a house in Great Neck for under $450. It's a great spot for that price range. House on market less than an hour with 7 offers. Oh my gosh. Wow. Is that Northern Virginia? Oh, this is the one across the states. Okay. That sounds about right. It has not changed in courthouse estates. Civilian wife is a middle school math teacher. Awesome. Very cool. Teaching here in public school system, or do you know? Very cool. Donald. All I know is once I move out of my parents' house into an apartment, I know who I'm looking toward. I know who I am looking towards for hunting. Oh, cool. Thanks, Donald. Appreciate that. I think that means me. Thank you. Kelly says hello. Hey, Kelly. How are you? Hi. Josiah says, oh, hey, Josiah. It seems we are having a lot of people from out of state coming here. The economy seems strong in Hampton Roads area. Why is this? Big thing to me is military. This is the thing that keeps the area stable in tough times, and it thrives in the good times. I mean, there's so many military bases here. And I'm going to add this too. Dollar Tree, Chesapeake, and this is a kind of more of a micro talk about with the Hampton Roads area market, but this is, I guess, more talking about the Chesapeake market itself. But I want to mention this because I have not talked about this in other videos. Dollar Tree is really doing a number on Greenbrier and the central if you've heard of Greenbrier is kind of like the shopping hub of Chesapeake or South Chesapeake on the side of Chesapeake, and it's real popular. Lots of like the big boxes, lots of restaurants, easy access to places, in demand spot. But Dollar Tree is building. Not only they built up a headquarters there, or the headquarters of Dollar Tree, the Dollar Tree is in Chesapeake, but around there is an attempt to build what's considered maybe like a small downtown of Chesapeake. And if that happens, I could see values there going up even more. But that to say that Dollar Tree is doing a lot of stuff in Chesapeake. And I think that's great for Chesapeake. But I mean, I just think that there are a lot of like mid-level companies that have come in. CMA CGM has been here. Booz Allen Hamilton, a lot of like consulting firm. There are a lot of government contractors that sell or deal directly with the military or the government that also are based here too. So a lot, and also on top of that, because there's so many bases scattered across the area, there are lots of opportunities for people to live in different places, but also for businesses to support and serve those people in a lot of different areas. So that's partly why you've got such a large swath of area where a lot of things are going really well because of the military. Now, that being said, not just because you're near a military base does not mean the economy is great or the area is booming. Like Hampton is pretty stagnant, even though Fort Eustis is right there. And so Fort Eustis, Langley, Fort Eustis. Sorry. Langley is in the northeastern corner of Hampton, but Hampton, I wish Hampton could just, anyway, sorry. I kind of have a soft spot for Hampton. What's the best way to get in touch with you? Oh, yes. I need to put my contact information. I'm going to put my contact information in the description below after the video, after the live stream. I can post it. I will put it here, though. There you go. And there's my email. You can contact me anytime. I'll put it I'll pin it on a comment section at the end of the video after it posts. So yeah, you can reach me out anytime, and I will help answer any questions as much as I can. Kelly, $400,000 in Salem Woods. Yep, 4-bedroom, 3-bath, new roof, HVAC, heat pump, carpet. Did we get a good deal? Recently renovated kitchen with fresh paint, whitewash fireplace. I feel like these houses in this area are worth $350,000. Yeah, so Salem Woods is for the price, a very in-demand area. And I think what happens with areas that are in demand at a price range, people walk in with the feeling of it's great at the price. Then they think, oh my gosh, did I overpay another price? So I personally love Salem Woods. The 4-bed, 3-bath, that sounds like a pretty decent size house. It's probably like about 2,800 square feet. I'm guessing 27, 28, maybe 25 plus maybe. So that sounds about right now. Actually, it sounds like a little bit low. I would think you might actually now. I'm not sure when you bought, but that might be higher now because I actually even have a client that bought in October, I think, in Salem Woods, and it was $350, and it was a smaller house too. And that house now is probably $380, $375-ish, and if not more. And that was one of the smaller houses in the neighborhood. So I think you did fine, 400 in Salem Woods. Yeah. And again, good deal. So talk about that just for a second. Good deal in the context of 5 years ago. Good deal means below appraisal value, 10% or 5%, whatever below appraisal value. Like that's a good deal. Now, if someone says I'm looking for a house now and I want the house I want a specific house, the deal is getting the house. To be honest with you, and I'm not saying like, oh my gosh, just pay whatever you need to for a house, but there are a lot of people that aren't able to get houses now, and it's tough. And so getting the house, even being a little bit more aggressive than you might feel like you want to be, and have just because if you're keeping the house for a long time, that interest rate does really pay off dividends later. And it's kind of getting over that feeling of, am I being too aggressive or more aggressive than I think I should be, or what common knowledge might say to be, and it's getting just more layers to it than just sticker price. You know what I mean? And so I look at it more in the long term of, okay, what am I actually paying for this house over the long term? Gosh, my hair is a mess. Jeez, what happened? Oh, sorry guys. You need to be careful there. All right. So any house under 425 ish in Salem Woods, unless it's like just super tiny or super huge, I think it's fine. Last year, that makes last year this time, you got in at the right time. 2.5 interest rate. Oh yeah, sorry, I'm not 2.5 last year, 2.5%. So you probably didn't even pay over asking or pay a guarantee over appraisal. If you did, maybe not that much, because you got in at the time. That's awesome. There's my number. Oh, there we go. Sorry. Hi, it's me from Pittsburgh again. Yes, hello. When I visited Virginia Beach a few years ago, I stayed at an inn on Military Highway and Hampton Roads near the prime outlets. Yes, I know exactly. Yes, close to the airport too. Loved how close and shopping to the beach. Yeah. So you were pretty close to the airport, close to the outlets, close to IKEA. That area is real close to the interstates too, and you can hit that all the way to the beach. You're probably 22 minutes away from the beach, the oceanfront. And I'm super excited about my next video, by the way. The next one is going to be about every beach access point, houses near those beaches, houses just off the beach, and then like 5 minutes drive or so, like just anywhere from the north side near Chicks Beach all the way east and down south towards Sandbridge. I'm super excited about that one. And oops, sorry, I didn't ask the question. Go back. Banner, where are you watching from? Oh, cool. Talking to you about a month ago. Oh, cool. I didn't recognize your YouTube channel. My job was flooding at the time. Oh yeah, oh my gosh. Yeah, are you okay? Yeah, the flooding. Oh my gosh, that was crazy. Yeah, so that was. Sorry guys, I was talking to someone, and they literally had a flooding issue their office right as I was talking to them. I'll go back to where you're watching from. So any other comments, questions? I'm happy to answer. There's one question I wanted to answer in the intermittent, which was, oops. Thanks for the great video. Can you recommend water beach towns in Virginia Beach that do not suffer from the airplane noise? Thank you. Yes. So this is a great question because thank you. One common issue with getting beach access is the jet noise. So it's like a trade-off. If you want jet noise, or if you want the beach, you often have to deal with jet noise if you want to be closer to the actual ocean front or some places near there. So North End deals with some of it, especially getting close to like Bay Colony and like down like really the ocean front, all the way down to Croatan has some too, not as much as the ocean front. Then really the ones that you can avoid a lot of jet noise. Chicks Beach, that's a great spot for that. The drawback here is that there is so Route 13 is the Chesapeake Bay Bridge Tunnel. So it's military highway. It's a road that goes into the ocean. It's one of the longest bridges in the world. I can't remember the award it got, but it's like 17 miles. Goes from Norfolk, Virginia Beach area up to the eastern shore of Virginia, and that connects all the way up to Washington D.C. Towards Baltimore. Sorry, but that access to that bridge is literally, you can turn, if you're on Chicks Beach, you can turn and you can see it like right there. It's like, a few hundred yards away, or you're close to it as you walk down the beach. So that's the one drawback to being near some parts of Chicks Beach, is that bridge, but it's not that big of a deal. Again, it's a great community, so no jet noise over there really. If you go further east, you'll get like any place on the north side. Bay Lake Pines is a private beach, but if you buy a house in there, you get access to that. It's a great spot if you want private beach access. Further over past there's Cape Story by the Sea, excuse me. That's another place, small bungalows with great beach access up north. And then eventually, though, as you curve around the northeastern tip down to the eastern side of Virginia Beach, you will find more of the jet noise as you get into the lower numbered streets on the coast of Virginia Beach. So Rahab asks, is Virginia Beach good for new immigrant? I'm from Egypt. Well, welcome here if you're coming here. So that's a tough one to answer. I know a lot of people that are from other countries, and I actually know some people that are actually in Egypt right now and planning to move back for a little while and then before they leave again. So I don't have some really good details about easy transition plans for someone that's from a different country that is coming here in the country for the first time. But I don't know if they're USCIS getting the visa status and the I guess it's just the visa status. Getting that part finalized is probably the piece I would say that takes the longest time. That I would say once you get past that, I guess here, I don't know about job market for just getting in across the country, but I don't have too much good information about that off the top of my head, but I can think about that. And if you shoot me your email address, maybe I can try and help you there. Just point you in the right direction. Got 3 major airports around here. Wait, 3? Oh yeah, right. Touche. I got you there. All them jets. What's the most bids on a property that you've seen? Great question. I think 23, 25. There are some times where agents just won't tell you because they don't want to count them. So I would say, about 23 to 25, I think. And I try desperately every time I have a client making an offer on a house, trying to get that information because it's just helpful to know for future data, so you can help strategize for the next houses. So you can see okay, if I think this house is this is a great house and it's getting X amount of offers, that tells me that where the market's going and where it's trending in certain areas. So I love asking that question. And if I can get that from people, from agents, I love that. So yeah, in the 20s. And I've seen offers get accepted. Oh gosh, over $50,000, over $60,000 over asking price, in a 500,000 price range house. And so, as I'm saying that, I don't want that to scare people too much. There are times where that will happen, where you'll see a house that's great, and it will be way over asking price. The winner will get it. Will get it. And and if someone wants the house that much, that is fine, especially if you're going to keep the house forever. I get it. But that being said, not every house is like that. Even in a market like this, it's not going to be like that in every house. And so I try and tell that to people all the time, so that you need to be ready for that, but don't be like, oh my gosh, every house is going to be I got to pay way more than I expected. I would just be prepared for the worst and hope for the best. And it depends on what kind of house you like, what kind of house you want. If you want something that you're willing to do more work to, you might be able to get it a little bit less and might not have to be as aggressive as a house that maybe all moved in Courthouse Estates, as an example. Hey, Sam. Hey, Andy. Yeah, I love you. Thank you very much. I've seen you comment a long time through the years. Plan moving out there soon enough. Cool. Very cool. Yeah, good to see you. Same with you, David. My upstairs neighbor in my apartment in Newport News is from Iraq. Oh, very cool. Look at that. Connecting people. I love it. I love it. She's a great lady. Cool. Just plowing ahead. Looking forward to your upcoming videos. Cool. Moving there soon. And thank you for your videos. Yep. Able to research. You're so welcome. That is why I do this. I love doing this. There's so much here, and every time I talk to someone who comes here for the first time, they are surprised by how much there is that's different from one side of the area to the other. And just being here one time can really help. And so if you're moving here and you've never been here before, if you can come once, it's helpful. You don't have to. But the people that do, all it takes is about 2 days. And you can see, if you tell me like, hey, I'm looking for this, this, and this, like several specific things in a house or an area, I can say, hey, there's some spots that might make a lot of sense, but you can specify, you can target different spots to just drive and see. And based on that, I can kind of help you kind of guide through where other areas might be similar to that, or what, access points might be similar. And you can see enough, drive through enough to get a real good picture of the different types of areas that are here in about 2 days. And some people can do it in a day. Some people, they prefer a little bit longer, but it's personal preference. But I'd say a short trip, you get a real good context for that. And I can help you if you do want to move here and you want me to work with you. I'll do this for a lot of probably 60% of the people I work with are people that are moving from out of state and either are moving here and have been here before, or moving here and have never been here before and are buying from wherever they're buying from, like from whatever location they're in. So I can do videos for people. I do longer videos, try and give you context of areas through video too. So you can see more of depth about the spot you're looking at, and not just necessarily the house that you're seeing on pictures on Zillow, the pictures don't tell the whole story, right? So I try really hard to give more context. Good luck with the sales. Thank you. Many thanks. You are so welcome. Videos are awesome, very informative. Thank you. Thank you very much, guys. Husband's in Cuba. Very cool. Look at this. How is this a wonderful family? We're building a community, guys. It's a community here. And so that I want to mention that one more time about the process to coming here. So I found another big surprise people have when they get here is that the Norfolk feels different, a lot different than Virginia Beach. Chesapeake feels in a lot of ways similar to Virginia Beach more than people think, but Chesapeake has more of the country element than Virginia Beach does, except for the south part of Virginia Beach, southeastern, where it does get similar again. And Suffolk is, I think, is still bang for buck, one of the best spots in the area, as well as Western Branch. And I've talked about Western Branch before. I love Western Branch, and I love Western Branch. One of the reasons is because if you look at old sales prices in the last even 2 months, 1 month, excuse me. Whew. Excuse me. Talking. So Western Branch, excuse me. Western Branch, if you look at the sales prices of Western Branch houses, and I'm saying Western Branch, I need to learn how to put maps up on the live screen. Next time, I promise I will know how to do this. But on the map, you'll look on the the left-hand side, there's a horseshoe. Chesapeake's like a horseshoe. on the western side of that horseshoe is Western Branch. And for the price, you can get a house in Western Branch, let's just say $450, that you'd probably have to spend $550, $575 for in parts of Virginia Beach, if not more. And so you have to drive further. Like if you're going to be over in middle eastern Virginia Beach, You're going to be paying a lot less, but you're going to be driving farther if you're commuting over to Virginia Beach. So that's one thing. However, you are saving a lot, and you have options to get across the area, multiple options. You can go across where there's a toll through to downtown Norfolk and through Virginia Beach that way, which it's a toll, $233, I think, per car each way. That can get kind of expensive, but it saves you a lot of time. It saves you like, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes each way. Or you can go south down through the high-rise bridge. It takes you over to, excuse me, over to Virginia Beach that way. That does not require a toll, but it takes longer, 35 minutes or so, 40 minutes to the beach. So for the price, I think you will find more value over there. And you have shopping over there. There's places like I've talked about Greenbrier and Chesapeake before, a lot of shopping areas that are close to areas of Greenbrier, but Western Branch, you have the same kind of thing. You have multiple spots over there that have everything you want. Even up towards Suffolk. Suffolk has some spots too that you're only like 8 minutes from Suffolk. And the sneaky part is that people don't always talk about is you're only about 30 minutes or so away from Langley Air Force Base up on in the northeastern side of Hampton. So if you don't want to live in Hampton or Newport News on the peninsula, you can go down to Chesapeake, and again, not that far, that much different in drive, but it's enough to where, I think you can save, you can get a great house. School district might be something you might prefer over there too. And you're also close to lots of other things. So that's a great central spot if you want to be up closer to Hampton and Newport News without being there. And okay, go back. Oh, Zillow is nice, but isn't accurate. Yes, preach. Redfin's good. I plan on moving there. I visited in the past, but I will rent a few months to really explore before buying. Great thought. And a lot of people do that. Some people don't. Some people buy as they're moving in. Both work fine. It really comes down to timing, and if you get a good feel of the areas, really. And again, back to that's why I like to make as much as possible my videos be as descriptive and allow you to see what's around. So if you do feel like you want to buy as you're moving to the area, you can do that based on kind of more context. Ain't we Tidewaterians nice? Yes, we are. Yes, we are, David. Columbus, very cool. Got my CDL in Columbus. What is happening? The family is building, guys. The family's building. Hey, Michael. Hey, yeah. Redfin. Yes, that's it. Mike's got it. Thanks, Mike. I was there for just 3 days. Wanted to relocate. Cool. Look you up. Thank you very much. Yeah, look me up. Next trip there from Pittsburgh. Yeah. Neighborhood research is the most important thing about moving here. I cannot stress that enough. You will see so many different areas and so many different vibes when you drive from one place to another. If you ever come here and you're just visiting and just want to drive through spots, even if you don't live in here, just go to Ghent once. It's worth it. Not as good as Sam's videos, but Redfin is accurate. Thanks, Mike. Thanks. Let me makes my man guy like my man say, oh, thank you, guys. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. So, yeah. So I think I covered a lot of stuff. We've got. Last thing I want to say is about the market in general. If you're moving here in the next, I'd say 1 to 2 months, 3 months, don't be afraid of being aggressive. But just obviously make sure it's the house you want. And just don't be aggressive on anything. But it's okay, again, based on what the market's doing right now with rates. But just know that other people are thinking the same thing and they're preparing for it. A few months ago, you could be aggressive and get a house without other people really being as aware of what's going on. Now everybody's aware of, okay, I got to do a certain thing to get a house. And so it's all about game theory, right? Trying to outthink the competition. So, and I am constantly trying to think through what is the next thing that can best give someone leverage to get the house that they want without spending as much as they need to or want or have to. So being really aware of the market, but not being afraid of the market, I think is a key thing to know. That being said, not every area is like this. The further you go west, like into Suffolk, It still happens. It's still like you gotta still be ready to go over asking price, be ready to guarantee appraisal. All that stuff is the same, but it's not as much. It's all scaled. You know what I mean? It's not as high like as if, for instance, in Virginia Beach, parts of Chesapeake, um, and honestly, the same goes with Hampton, Newport News, Williamsburg. There is still a shortage of listings. Now that will change, I think, as we get into the spring, summer. There's more confidence in being out and about with people. More listings will happen, and I think people are also getting more educated on how to move or buy a house and relocate, and also try and sell their house at the same time. Which it's hard to do that, and it's hard to get an offer accepted doing that. But with the right strategies, with the right approach, it can be done. It's just you have to kind of counteract that by doing other things. There's different strategies that you can take that can help you get an offer accepted. But just be aware that each city is reacting differently to this market. And then if you go further up north, you still have like Williamsburg area that still exists. And I would just know that just because you're not in the middle of Virginia Beach, you're still in a very active market. But just don't be assuming that you have to go crazy for whatever house that you get, if that makes sense. Answer any more questions here? Got beta days. Oh, yeah, thanks, guys. Yeah, Busch Gardens, Water Country. Yeah, talk it up. I love it. I'm not sure about Harborfest. Yeah, Harborfest. I don't know if that's still happening this year. I don't know if that's still happening. Guys, get any more questions? Feel free to leave them in the comment section below as we possibly wrap up here. If you got any more questions, please let me know. I love doing these. I'm going to start doing these more frequently. I think they seem to be doing well for people. I think I got some great feedback from the last one, and people seem to really like just the dialogue. And so if you have any more questions, if you have questions in general, please, you can reach out. I'm going to drop my contact information below in the description. But if you got questions about even, houses, one thing, but even just what it's like to live here, that's part of what my videos are about, just trying to capture what it's like in different spots. And so I talk about like what, for instance, what Western Branch feels like compared to what Virginia Beach feels like. And it's different in a lot of ways. So, and if you got specific places you want me to do videos about, please let me know about that also. Whether it's, anything specific or a larger area or just a larger question about living in this area, I can do videos about that as well. So any of that stuff is welcomed. And again, I'm looking forward to the next video about beaches. I'm going to start doing more things about beaches in the next coming months. That I think people are in need of more details about the beaches here and about just the unique, just things that are offered. Like, for example, Bay Lake Pines is a neighborhood in the north side of Virginia Beach that has its own private beach. And if you're a resident of Bay Lake Pines, you can literally walk to the beach, and you're not going to be really bothered too much if you don't want to be around bunch of other people. So that's something that people don't really know, but that's a very kind of a small neighborhood. Houses don't go up here very often. When they do, they go really fast because of one of the reasons is because of this. So, so that's the kind of nuanced stuff I want to talk about. And so if you do come here, you can get more information about very specific things that you might not see just in Googling random stuff about beaches, Thank you for your channel. Yeah, cool. Thanks. You're welcome. Appreciate it. And yeah, and guys, anything else? Last call for questions. And if not, then we can wrap this up, and I will do more videos like this in the future. And oh, not a beach person. Yes, that's right. One last thing. I am not a beach person. I don't like the beach. I'm very aware of the beach. I have so many friends that drag me to the beach. I went with groups and stuff to the beach, all in different spots, and I know all about it, but I do not like it. So I'm a good person to ask about information, but not a good person to ask as a buddy. Beach, I'm not your beach buddy. Okay. So yeah, the irony of living in Virginia Beach, but not liking it over there. Anyway, that's it for tonight. If you have any more questions too, you can ask me in the comment section below, or contact me. You can email me or text me at any point in time, or call me, of course. And I'll be doing the videos, of course, every week for forever long. And again, if you got more questions about specific videos, I can answer that for you. And yeah, good luck in the market. Got questions about the market too. And I will see you on the next one and the next live one. And I'll keep giving you more updated information as to when I do more live videos, more ahead in advance, so you know when they're coming. So you're not like surprised last minute. So that's it. Thanks, guys. And I will see you on the next video.